He can't keep getting away with it. That is my favorite line from Breaking Bad, and it perfectly resonates with this ending for me. I felt that line because Saul, even though he had the ability to keep getting away with it, his time had come.
His time has come.
And that's all we'll say about that for this non-spoiler section of the season finale and series finale of Better Call Saul. The official ending of the New Mexico, Albuquerque, Breaking Bad universe has officially died.
It's come to a close.
Yep. And I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
We've had our highs, we've had our lows. You know, emotional lows, not actual lows, because the show is always on a high. And it's time for it to come to an end, and I'm fine because, you know, we still have Vince Gilligan who could make new shows, and I'm excited to see those shows in the future. Mm-hmm. And I felt like this ending, when we get to the review, I'll say, but I just feel like this was a perfect ending for this show.
I think I'd agree. It makes me wish, finishing this up, that I had watched Breaking Bad in real time.
No. This is a good discussion to have.
Why?
Because I fully believe watching shows, not current, but watching them binging it is a much better experience.
I feel like, it's definitely more of a thing now.
Yeah. Well,
to binge shows.
Yeah, I think the experience of binging is better than the experience of watching live. The only positive of watching live is you get to experience the social aspect of experiencing with people, right? That's the only benefit to it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Watching weekly, you get to be in the social environment of it. Yeah. People tweeting it, people talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's the only benefit. When you binge it, you get the last episodes, all the emotion of the last episode is right with you. Because you usually watch it right after or the next day. I'm very glad I watched Breaking Bad in a binge.
Oh, you did too?
I watched Breaking Bad binging it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I just feel like the emotions are stronger in a binge. When you have to wait
see it going
when you have to wait 6 months for the next season and then a week for each episode, I feel like the effects are dull a little bit. Like binging Game of Thrones. Amazing.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel very strong about this, so I want to know your thoughts.
I'm just saying that because I feel like I should be feeling some sort of way just watching the last episode of the series, you know? But I don't know how I feel. Like, finishing Breaking Bad, I was really sad, but I mean, the way Breaking Bad ends kind of makes me sad anyways. I saw a news article that said this finale is like polar opposite of Breaking Bad. Yeah.
Which, is that fully true? I don't know. We'll talk about it. But in terms of like action and like the ending feeling like you're talking about, this is very different.
Definitely.
But I think that's all we'll get into now.
Yes.
Right? For the non-spoiler part.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Your thoughts.
Initial?
Your feelings, yeah.
I feel, like I said, I feel like it was perfect for this show. And I feel like this show, for maximum for me, it just feels like a 92 show for me.
92?
Yeah. Like, I don't think any episode... like, it's hard... Like, I want to... Like, we're still discussing the score, but I just feel like no episode in this show ever really gets past 92.
Yeah.
In reality, because... you know, I'm not huge. I don't need violence to make something good, but it certainly helps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your complaints, like, you know, with your, like, what you would wish was not as much of a thing is how slow this show was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And,
so even like, So, like, you didn't even need violence in this show. They just needed to make things a little more...
Yeah. Well,
fast-paced
it's all personal taste, right?
Of course.
So, like, for example, Mad Men, right? Everyone loves that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. I think, if I recall, I watched 2 seasons. It's a little slow. Maybe these type of shows just aren't tailored to me as much. Maybe I need the violence to, like, make things, like, extra special.
To really hit you,
to really hit me, yeah. Like, for me, the top end of Breaking Bad is easily 100%. You know, I think Tahajali...
Oof.
I always mess up the pronouncing of that episode. But I think, that's an 100% episode to me.
Right.
I think the top end of Breaking Bad is a 98, 99, 100. I feel like the top end of this show is only 92. Because it's so impressive. But it just doesn't have the extra gusto to reach that, like, perfection for me.
Do you think that's...
This is all personal. So I don't want anyone to say, oh, you don't know good shows. Or this is me, Right. I need that extra thing to make it the extra level.
Do you think it's because it's a prequel show? Like, that's why you don't have that, like, extra oomph?
That's probably part of it, for sure. Yeah.
I feel like it was, like, limited at all or anything like that?
Yeah.
But I have to say, it being a show about Saul's past is great. Like, I mean, obviously, if it's Vince Gilligan, it's like, okay, it's going to be a good show, right? But I feel like so many shows are like, okay, we're going to do a spinoff with this and this. It could have been bad, It could not have been as good as it is. I'm impressed.
Yeah. It's very impressive how they're able to make it so creative, different, and entertaining for a lawyer show like this.
Yeah. And
when it's being put up to Breaking Bad.
Yes.
It's so impressive to me.
And they have to make sure not to leave any holes from Breaking Bad with whatever was said in Breaking Bad and done.
I mean, it's not that hard for me.
It would. Oh. Maybe I'm just not creative enough.
I don't think that's hard because this is about a separate person who his personal life was hardly ever talked about.
Yes.
So
okay. Maybe what I'm saying is the story they not come up with. I don't know. Did they think when they had Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad? Do you think they already kind of had like this, like, not like this specific of the storyline of Better Call Saul, but did they think like, he's kind of like this, whatever, kind of?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
True,
did they have an idea?
Really good story writers have their characters fleshed out. They are people to them. I love hearing the way George R. R. Martin speaks about the Game of Thrones characters. Because to him, it's crazy. To him, those characters are people. Yeah. And he talks about them like they are humans.
Yes.
And he's like, they have this background. They're very messed up because, blah, blah, blah. And then when he talks about Westeros, it's a very
real place.
This is his place that he's been with for like 20 plus years. The 89, I can't remember what year it was, but, I think Vince is the same way. To him, these guys are people, Mm-hmm. So I guess, it wouldn't surprise me if he already thought about these things, yeah.
Well, I guess what I was saying, I guess maybe not the holes that they try not to leave open, but just what they created out of what he said, I guess, then. With Lalo and Nacho. Oh. Like, it was them.
Yeah, I wonder how much of that was predetermined.
I know.
And I loved it. I love Lalo. So good. But, yeah. Okay, let's get in the scores.
Yes.
So, for this episode, we are not going to be given the stars for the seasons. We will be doing that in another episode. Probably a shorter one talking about the whole season in general. But for this episode, we're going to give this a 94 out of 100. Very good. Not perfect, but very good. Because I want to start our spoils with my least favorite scene in the whole episode. I really don't like it at all. And
I already know.
Yeah, I told you right after. I was like, that's bad. 94. So good. Very good. Highly recommended. No complaints other than that one scene. Loved it. But it just didn't have the oomph that, like, the ending of Breaking Bad had.
It's kind of like...
Which I would give that probably 99 out of 100. Maybe probably 100. But, so yeah, 94. Amazing. Can't speak highly enough about it. And then for our description, we already said it, but I'm going to say it again. A perfect ending to this show. I don't think it's a perfect ending necessarily. Like, I wouldn't say this is how you end a show, but I feel like for this show, it's perfect.
I agree.
Yeah. Which is basically what we're trying to say. Yeah. And that's our scores. So, let's spoil this.
Yes.
So, I want to know your thoughts. So, I'm going to get straight into my least favorite part. Okay. Cringy. I hated it. Yeah, do it.
I don't want to. It's so cringy. You do it.
I hated it. Okay. In the bus going to the jail, ADX, is that what it was? Anyways, the
Yes.
Alcatraz of whatever, their version of the Alcatraz. When all the prisoners are shaking are like saying "Better call Saul" in
Better
a
call
chant.
Saul. Better call Saul.
This is so stupid. It didn't feel right. It didn't flow. It didn't feel natural. I felt like it was a push thing to try to give Jimmy some, to show that he was happy. Like, I kind of like that type of thing.
Yeah.
He wasn't depressed enough to not let that make him happy in that moment, going to jail for 80, 60 years. And it felt pushed. I feel like they could have had some men in the bus, like, talk to him and say, like as they are talking to him, but just all get hyped with him and
yeah,
dude, you're so awesome or something.
I would
and,
like that.
They're all kind of talking, mumbling to each other, with him,
Just all the
and
noise.
he's just smiling as they're all just
Yep.
smirking.
Yep. Because
That'd be good.
Yeah.
That feel natural. It wouldn't feel. Who just starts chanting like that?
Better
Call Saul. Better call. Come on. That was terrible.
I don't know.
I'll say that right now. I think
know.
it's terrible.
I mean, I think the thing is just shows he made a name for himself. Whether
No, yeah, we know the reasoning,
right,
but it's a dumb way to display the feelings.
Yeah, it felt too. Yeah, didn't feel like a natural thing to happen on a bus going to prison.
So, did you have any moments or scenes that you did not like?
Oh my gosh.
If nothing comes to your mind, we're gonna skip it because.
Well, I feel like something did come to my mind, but it was probably the chanting.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, if it comes back to me, because I really don't know. I had something it might have been that, but if we keep talking through and it comes to me, I'll say it.
Something else I wanted to mention. I'll say one more negative thing, and then we can start talking positive. During the Walt talking with Saul scene, there's something about the writing in the show. I think the writing is almost on par with Breaking Bad, because of what they have to try to deal with and how creative they have to be. But in terms of the dialogue feels throughout the entirety of the show. The dialogue has always felt a step below Breaking Bad to me. I feel like the dialogue between Walt and Saul was a really good representation of it didn't feel right to me. It feels like they set up these situations to have this message be shared, and it doesn't come off as clear as well as I'd like it to be. Like Walt in that scene just felt kind of off to me. Not that it felt. I mean, it felt off, but it's not like I'm gonna come out and say Walt, it was bad in that scene. But to me, it just felt like he was too angry. It felt weird, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Because I'm trying to remember what just happened right there. It's like,
well, he's getting so angry about the time machine.
well, I know, but Hank dies. Marie and them thinks that he killed them.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. So I know what you're going to.
Okay.
Walt was very angry in that scene in Breaking Bad.
Yes.
He was going kind of crazy down there. And they showed Saul, and he was kind of worried.
Yeah.
And Walt's what was he doing? He was writing down lists, okay, I need to do this, I need to do this. And they tell Saul, okay, I need you to do this. And Saul's like, dude, I'm not helping you. I'm done. And Walt's like, no.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll say, oh, that's what he said. Yeah. He says, we're done when I say we're done.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
yes. Oh, yeah. You're done when I say you're done. And then he starts coughing. He falls down. And then Saul leaves.
Okay. Oh, yes.
So he was acting erratic and mad. But there's something about that dialogue in that scene I didn't love.
No, but what I was going to say is at that point, he's like skipping town.
Yeah.
I feel like he wouldn't be as mad, but he's had the time, or they've had the time. I guess we don't know how long they've been waiting down there.
Oh, we don't know.
But he's had the time to let everything that's happened, like, sink in. I feel like he'd be more of a depressed kind of guy. Or am I wrong?
He never acts depressed in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but this is like his whole, like, everything crumbled.
No, I'm saying they never show him depressed in those last episodes.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're
because
right.
He doesn't regret it. He liked it.
I know, but his brother-in-law died and everything.
But I know, but they never show that, so you can't just say that.
Yeah.
He never like sits there and acts depressed about what happened.
Yeah, I guess.
And he does act the same way in Breaking Bad as he does in that Better Call Saul scene. But the dialogue that was given felt a little pushed. He's like,
yeah.
What would you... And Saul like, time machine. You had a time machine, what would you do? and then Mike in the middle of his enthrallment with the water machine is like, a time machine? Like, well, in that moment you would not care about a stupid philosophical question.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Not at that point. I think earlier...
It's like, a time machine.
Earlier, Walter... Not at that moment.
But still, I don't think you would that much.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't care.
Or, they've been down there together. He's probably like, you are so annoying.
Yeah.
And so he's
anyways,
are you kidding me? It was funny how mad he got, but...
Yeah.
You know what? But also, I could see him just being really mad because he's sitting there and he still didn't accomplish what he was trying to do in the first place, which was to help his family. Provide for his family. So maybe he was feeling restless and he's irritable. I could see that.
Yeah, he was that. He was that way. Yes.
Yeah. But I'm like saying maybe that's
because he was trying to figure out what to do.
So I should what I'm saying is maybe I should be accepting of how he was acting. But I don't know. It just felt off.
That's what I've gotten to. I've accepted the way he's acted, but I'm not accepting the dialogue.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. But I still don't really accept it. So let's get to.
I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
Since we've already talked about Walt. Let's talk about the other time machine moments. So it opens with Jimmy and Mike in the desert, which I loved, which is another moment of reflection. And then at the second to last, maybe third to last scene is Chuck and Jimmy talking about that. So let's talk about both those.
Right.
And we learn a lot about Jimmy and how much of a sleazebag he is.
Yeah.
Man, these last episodes have really killed Jimmy to me.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I turned to you and I'm like, if he gets... this first scene, this opening scene before knowing whatever happens, I'm like, if he gets caught, I don't care because...
All he cares about is money.
The desires in his heart is money, yeah. And that's it.
But the end of the episode does disprove that. He cares more about Kim than money.
Yes. But he still bothers me.
Yeah.
Just because we see... Chuck again, and all that anger of how much I do not like Chuck at all comes back. I'm like, right, they set us up to make us feel bad for Jimmy for how much Chuck screwed him over in the beginning of his trying to become a lawyer career, that to make us like Jimmy and to feel bad for him, when really Jimmy just wants money. And he cares about Kim. But everything he says is money, money, money in this episode.
Yeah. But, he was helping Chuck to help him.
Yeah.
He was being nice.
He's trying to be a good brother. He's trying to do his brotherly duties.
He's not a bad person. It's just, he is a bad person. But, he was trying to be nice with Chuck.
Yeah.
They showed, even though in that first one they showed the money.
Yeah.
He wanted to get the money. If he could go back, he'd just get the money. They show again in the Chuck scene.
Yep.
He says, "Why are you doing this? Because you're my brother. You'd help me too, right?"
And he would not
do the same for me. Which Chuck would not do the same. No, Chuck's terrible too. And then, if you don't like where you're headed, there's no shame in going back and changing your path. And then he picks up the time machine book, which is awesome.
Yeah, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something funny too with when him and Walter were down there and he's asked about the time machine, and then he's like, "Oh, you're talking about regrets. You're not talking about going back in time." And then
if you want to talk about regrets, just talk about regrets. So angry.
A little grumpy but and then Walter shares what he would do, and then Jimmy literally says something about slipping and falling and how his knee has never been the same from that incident, and so that's what he regrets.
So dumb.
And then Walter goes, "What is he? You've always been like this," or something like that.
Part of me feels like these aren't even that big of... That's another thing I want to say, yeah. I feel like these things that he's saying are kind of more showing that Saul... Let me think. He's not that introspective.
That's what I was going to...
What's the other word? Introspective?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. He's not that introspective of a person. Like, if you ask me right now, what would I do if I can go back in time? I would probably say get money. Like, if you said... If you can go back, what would you do? I would say I would invest in Bitcoin, right?
Sure. But
that doesn't make me a bad person.
But is your life falling apart right now?
His life wasn't falling apart. With Mike?
With Walter, though.
Yeah. But
with Walter, he's stuck in a basement or something.
Well, at that point, I would say something different, obviously. But with, Mike, maybe I'd say I would probably either say money or go back in time so I don't have to deal with this because I might die in the desert.
Yeah, that would have been a lot.
But I feel like Saul just isn't that kind of person to try to...
No.
I don't know.
And I feel like he doesn't want to face himself, his problems, right?
Because he runs from everything.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most powerful moments in the episode, is when he tells the judge... I love that judge scene is so good. When he's talking to the judge and says, Kim started a new life, I ran away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Kim was brave to start over.
Yeah, Kim was brave. Yeah. I just ran. And, yeah, I got a lot of vibes, a lot of Walter to Hank vibes with this whole fake plea.
Oh, right.
It reminded me of, Walt's fake plea to Hank, saying that Hank forced him to do it all, But I will say, very impressive by Saul. He could have done that.
Yeah.
It'd be very believable.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Something that reminded me of earlier Jimmy McGill days is, and it's nothing big or anything, but when he jumped in the dumpster in this episode to hide from the police, I was like, I feel like he's been in a dumpster before, and he was for Sandpiper doing that, so I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah. There was a lot of callbacks in this episode.
Yeah.
That we could go through, but... yeah, I just had a feeling during that whole cop chase that he was going to get caught, right? You too?
Yeah, it just seemed impossible.
It seemed he was slow and everything was coming to him.
Right. I mean, I was like, oh, it's for certain now, like him on the run, but I'm like, how is he going to get out of this if he does? I'll be impressed. It was very stressful. And I wasn't expecting him to be caught so early on in the episode. I don't know why. It makes sense because there's so much to close up. But I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening right now.
Yeah. Very good way to start the episode.
Yeah.
At that point, I was hooked. So good.
And then, after he gets caught and he's getting taken through to talk about a plea bargain or, whatever they're going to charge him with, you see Marie.
Yes, Marie.
And it breaks my heart. When she came into the room to start talking, I was just tearing up because of how sad her story is. I hate it. She had the best guy.
You actually cried.
I did.
Yeah, Marie was a very good... that was another moment of dialogue failure for me. Why would Marie just walk in and start talking like that to Saul? I feel like if a cop said, you can give your remarks to him if you want, type of thing, and then she sat down and started talking to him, but it all felt too staged. Like, oh, let's have these final words to reminisce about Hank and bring the feelings back.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that way?
I hear it, but that's all she has to go off of. That's all her.
I mean, I'm not putting it past her character to do that.
Yeah.
But it didn't feel perfect to me. Did you not have any problems with watching that scene?
No, I totally get it.
Okay.
But in my mind, I just figured that when they went to go get her from the hall, they're like, hey, if you want to say anything. That's what I just kind of chalked it up to.
It just felt too staged.
No, I agree, but...
But not... I mean, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed everything said.
Yeah.
But it's just not quite to that S-tier moment as it could have been, I felt like.
Yeah. And...
This is how they get you. Oh, yeah. That was good. Saul's, like, thinking, this is how they get you, huh? He starts laughing in the...
Oh, yeah, that was great. I love that. He was hysterically laughing in the waiting cell or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you are stupid, Saul. Why'd you do that?
No, that's not why.
It's all caught up to him. Isn't that what it is?
No, I think he was laughing because the words on the wall said, my lawyer will get me out of this type of thing.
Oh.
And he's like, I can get out of this.
You're right. Yeah.
I can't be stopped.
Oh, yeah, and then he realized, I want another call. You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Waiting to leave. Okay. Then we got the whole Kim back in Florida with the free legal service. I feel like this scene...
What, it didn't have to be
This scene should have been cut, to me, personally. They probably gave a full 2 minutes to this free legal service just to show us that she wants to be a lawyer, which I feel like we already know this. Well, that she wants to do that stuff again. I feel like that was very obvious and it wasn't needed.
I mean,
not that it's bad. But
I think we can always assume that that's what she's wanted because she was so good at being a lawyer.
Yeah,
and she enjoyed it.
It felt completely useless. No.
I can see that, but I liked the scene. It just made me happy to see her doing things.
I'm not saying it's a detriment to this episode. I'm just saying I feel like it's useless, and that time could have been filled with other things.
I mean, it's true, because it was like a longer scene that I was expecting maybe there's more to come out of that.
Yeah, not bad.
But yeah.
But, I mean, I could already have told you that she wanted to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And it made me sad. Like, she's not a lawyer. She can't be a lawyer right now.
Yep.
But anyways.
And then we get the courtroom. This is probably the best scene in the episode.
Yeah. No, better call Saul. That's the scene. No, I think so.
It's definitely up there. I like how when they mentioned Chuck, it cut to the exit sign buzzing.
Yeah, that's so.
They always do little clever things like that.
Always.
And then he takes back on the McGill name after he pleads to be guilty, and he takes on everything that he said. And he tells the truth.
Yeah.
For Kim's sake, which is exactly what I told you.
Yep, you did.
And you said, what? Why would you do that?
Well, I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to remember why. Oh, because you were saying that she would do that and then whatever the heck. But in your prediction, I don't think you said that he got caught to do that. Like, he would come out and try and help her. Or did you think he was going to be caught?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was saying she's going to be in jail type of situation. Like, it could be really bad for her. And then he takes it on himself to get her completely wiped. And then he's screwed.
Oh, okay.
But my prediction, I didn't necessarily say he was already in jail when he made that choice. Yeah. I just said he's going to go to jail for her type of thing.
Right, and that's why I'm like,
which he did.
But in my mind, I'm like, he's not going to voluntarily just come out of hiding.
But he did.
And do it. But I guess
he tacked on
7.5 years. Is that? Oh no, that's not what you're gonna say.
No, but yeah, he tacked on 79 years of prison for her.
Yeah.
So he basically did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He killed himself.
Because that was after the deal.
He killed himself for her.
Yes. Yes, and you're right. But I was like, there's no way. There's no way if he was free. I don't think.
But I am surprised that the money played no role in this, right?
What money?
They mentioned that all of his crap was gone. They mentioned...
Oh, okay.
They showed his diamonds in the beginning. They showed his money. I thought money would play a role in this. But, I mean, nothing. Which is surprising. Anything else in that courtroom?
No. I just liked... I think my favorite part in that... Well, not my favorite. But I just liked the reference to Chuck and the buzzing.
Okay.
And then it made me think... It just made me remember of how good that scene was. When Chuck was in there.
Chicanery.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'll butcher it if I explain it, but...
Yeah, you will.
But when Jimmy reveals that he has a battery in his phone.
Yep.
And then he's like, ooh.
Which hopefully next episode we can talk about some of our favorite moments of the show.
Yes. Because that was one of mine.
As we look back. We go back to Jimmy bringing Chuck's groceries, which we already talked about.
Yep.
And then Jimmy on the bus going to jail. So now he's baking bread, and we can only safely assume he's giving law advice and kind of controlling the prison.
Yeah,
right?
He's not walking it around like a shy, timid kind of guy. He's walking around super comfortable and totally fine.
It's his prison, man.
I don't know why I was surprised.
Yeah. Which maybe going to the Alcatraz is better than the other prison he wanted to go to, which I can't remember what it's called.
Right.
The one he wanted to go to.
But he's more. He probably would have been.
He's probably more
respected
more
and
respected here.
Admired.
Probably have a better time. Yeah, he's baking bread. It looked like they were doing the Cinnabon thing again.
Yeah, that's what I thought
too.
too.
That was smart.
Yeah.
Showed the baking bread, and then he speaks with Kim. Now, as soon as they got in the room, me and Stacey thought they were gonna start making out.
Jokingly, but also when it happened, man.
But it was nice seeing them up against the wall, smoking, which was the same way we see them the first time we see them together.
Right.
They're in the garage of Hamlin McGill, on the wall smoking, as he's up against it with his back, and she's sideways, I think.
Yeah.
But a little bit to that.
Thinking back to that, my first impressions of her when I saw her smoking like that was that she was just that she didn't seem like a very approachable person or like someone that would be a lovable kind of person. Just because that was the first seeing her, and she just seemed so cut off and just like kind of like over the job or over the day. But now I love her so much.
Interesting. I did not feel that way.
I did. Or
I can see why you did, I guess.
I don't know. She was an intimidating woman, so. But.
So, yeah, and that's where we learned that the jail sentence went from 7 to 86 years.
Oh.
And by all accounts and purposes, Kim seems to be off. She seems fine.
Yeah.
As she leaves, Saul is just staring at her and gives the finger guns that Kim does to him. I can't remember.
I don't remember
this
when.
season or last season? I can't remember. But she doesn't really give a reaction, just keeps walking. So, I think it's kind of a situation of, I respect you for helping me. I loved you once upon a time, but peace, thank you. I do wonder if she'll ever go back and see him.
I wonder too.
Or if it's kind of, because the way she walked away didn't seem very, Saul has not won anything here.
No.
But he at least gets back to ground zero with Kim.
Right.
Which is good. But, he lost.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Walt won, figuratively, just through the money. He actually was able to pay for his family.
Yeah. So
obviously, the losses were much bigger, but in this one, I don't really see any wins here for Saul.
No.
Other than getting back to ground zero with Kim.
Yeah. Which is all I think I would care about.
Yeah. Because, like, with Walt, that's another thing we didn't talk about. Walt actually seemed sincere. He wished he didn't do it. He wished he could go back in time, work in science with his company, and then he said he wouldn't be here anymore.
No.
Which I'm surprised, because the way Breaking Bad ends, it kind of made it seem like, in that last episode, it seems like Walt wasn't willing to say that. He liked it. He liked being bad. He liked doing these things. He liked killing.
Maybe it's because of that time that he had off that he's like, no, I really do like what I did.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe.
But
I mean, it's true what he said. He would have been well off. That he didn't have to find another source of income.
yeah.
But, yeah, that's a good point. I feel like I bet he just changed his mind because... Or maybe not, and he did regret it, but that's not what Skylar wanted to hear. She was sick of it.
No, he didn't lie to her about that.
I know, not lie, but maybe he did regret. He obviously did like it, because he let it go too far.
He liked it, but regretted it.
But he probably regretted it. But she doesn't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm. And then it ends with Kim looking back, longing at Jimmy. Not longing, sorry, just looking back. I like that scene of him behind the fence and she's behind the other fence.
Yeah.
Staring at each other. That was good.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yep.
Man.
Makes me sad.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
North the wall. Yeah. Dang. That's it.
Yep.
Every single thing. Breaking Bad. The Breaking Bad universe is at a close. There's no questions of anything now. They have resolved everything. The only thing they haven't resolved is probably Skinny Pete and Badger. But
True.
And Andrea's son, Brock. Other than that, I think we know everything.
Yeah.
And those things don't matter very much.
Wait, didn't we hear something in El Camino
about Brock?
with Brock? Did he not leave any money for him?
Ooh, maybe.
I feel like
No, he had to give all the money to leave.
Oh, you're right. I take it back.
Every cent.
I take it back.
Yeah.
I don't know why I get that feeling. That's probably one of the saddest relationships that have crumbled. Brock losing his mom. Horrible. Horrible.
Wait, how's that? You don't even see it. You just mean the fact that it happened?
Yeah. We do see it.
We never see Brock.
Oh, wait, not Brock. Sorry. I thought you meant we don't
Sorry.
see her die.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we see her die. But no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Jesse with Andrea and Jane are both very well written, to be perfectly
Yeah.
said.
Oh my gosh.
Now, which one is better to you?
That's hard because I feel like Jane's is more dramatic because they were both just kind of spiraling down together. But they were just in this honeymoon phase or stage.
Aaron Paul is such a freaking good actor in Breaking Bad. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like Jane was that catalyst for Walt where it showed how evil he was the first time. Andrea was breaking through the bottom to go even lower. Somehow Jesse was able to get lower than hell. So, whichever one of those two you think is worse, I mean, more dramatic and exciting,
Yeah.
up to you. I feel like for me it's Jane, just because up to that point, that was the moment where I felt like Walt was truly evil.
Yeah.
And that moment will never leave my mind because it was like that
And then,
intro thing.
Then when he tells Jesse that he watched Jane die. Ah!
So good.
I'm trying to think of something that makes me feel like that in Better Call Saul.
Nothing.
And I think the first thing that comes to mind is Chuck screwing Jimmy over, like being the one, or like
I feel like the whole
or Kim telling Jimmy that Chuck is the one that would never let him get hired and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And also whatever else Chuck said after that.
Yeah. I feel like you could put the top 10, maybe not 10, top 5 moments of Breaking Bad, and they would all top anything Better Call Saul has to offer. For me personally.
I gotta think about it. I don't know.
No.
But yes,
feel
because
like
I think about things that just bring so much
Chicanery
emotion.
and the Exacto, the printing place. Those are like 2 moments that really stand out to me in Better Call Saul that were like top notch.
Yeah, definitely.
Werner Ziegler was very good as well.
Oh, I loved him.
But when I think about these top moments of Breaking Bad, like there's in Tahaji itself, Hank's death, Walt telling Jesse that he killed Jane, Flynn attacking Walt, taking the baby and Scout's acting in the street crying. All those moments are better than anything in that one episode. All those moments are better than anything in Better Call Saul. For me, I'm saying that right now.
It does bring thinking about that just makes me feel so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, why are we talking about this? I'm trying to remember why we started this.
Because I was saying how. I'm trying to think of moments like that in Better Call Saul that bring that emotion to me. But
for me, it's chicanery, the court case, and yeah. What else?
I don't know, Howard's sudden death.
Yeah, that was really good.
And Lalo.
I mean, his death was good.
I guess the whole episode, and that's what I want to say about this episode, is, what you just said, it was the right ending for Better Call Saul. But, my mind was, waiting for something to get really stressed and worried to be on the edge of my seat. Which, in this situation, it wasn't going to be like that. It's going to be in a courtroom. You'll see what happens then. But it wasn't anything like this big nail-biter kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was left kind of with all this adrenaline that I wanted to use, but I didn't because it's just not that kind of show to end on. Or, ending to... Yeah. I can't talk, but that's just because it's a different show. It's a crooked lawyer show.
And they do very good at doing that.
Yeah. I'm sad that it's ended, but I don't feel.
Now we're on
so
to House of the Dragon now.
Yeah.
Which will be.
That's coming up.
Very good.
What else is coming out?
Lord of the Rings as well.
We have
2 new shows. So even though I'm sad, I at least have hope on the horizon. Because I'm pretty sure House of the Dragon comes out next week. I think it comes out exactly next Monday. So I'll have to start that again. Oh, man.
Dang.
Well, we've already talked about a lot of this season, so we might as well give our stars for Better Call Saul Season 6. Because we already talked about this whole season.
Sorry.
We've been talking about Better Call Saul and stuff.
I kept pulling things back from the past, so that's on me.
Yeah. This episode, to close it, this episode was very well made. It was exactly what the show needed. Like I said, perfect ending for this show. And even though the show went through one slow point of those 3 to 4 episodes, or maybe 3 episodes, after episode 2, Howard's downfall in those first 6 episodes. That's all it really was. Those first 6 episodes was Howard's downfall.
Yeah.
And seeing how good of a person Howard was, and Saul and Kim's belligerence to continue to jab at him in creative, amazing ways.
Just to ruin his reputation.
Just ruined everything about him. And even though there were some slow moments there, it was very good, very creative. High marks for that. The last episode of their final nail in the coffin of the picture with the stuff that went it affect his eyes to make his eyes look big, and then change the picture out.
Oh,
so creative, so good. top moment in Better Call Saul, easy for me. But yeah, and then obviously these last 6 episodes have been very good as well. Other than Nippy, everything was really pushed forward to give us the most information about the characters, to push the story forward, other than Nippy. And it's exactly what I was expecting going into the show 6 years ago, or actually maybe it was 8 years ago, because I think they missed some years. So whenever I started watching the show, this is what I was hoping for at the end of the show, and they delivered. They did it. Amazing. And we are going to be giving this show 1 star. What?
Nothing.
Does that surprise you? What do you think about that?
I don't know what I think about it. I take forever to decide on my opinion, like those kind of things, the ratings. I see it and I understand it, but I've got to think about it. No, I don't know. I just like I felt like there was a build up.
No.
And you're like 1 star. But
1 star is good.
it's really good. That means
yeah.
very worth the watch, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no exact words for it.
Yeah. I see. I like it. I like it.
Okay, for those who don't know, since she's going to probably confuse you a little bit.
Sorry.
The Midnight Star is the Michelin star of the entertainment industry. So, receiving 1 star is a very, very good thing to get. 2 stars is freaking good. 3 stars is basically perfection. And, you know, not very many things will even receive 1 star. So, me giving this 1 star is very good. Yeah. And that's our critical review for Season 6 of Better Call Saul. You know, we could go back and maybe, I think there's probably Season 3, I believe, or Season 4. That season might deserve 2 stars.
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Whichever one has chicanery and that whole scene pushing forward Chuck's death, that season would probably receive 2 stars. I do not believe any season of the show still deserves 3 stars. I said, you know, the show never really gets above a 92%, really, for me. But yeah.
Let me clarify.
So we're giving this 1 star.
I was making your words sound different in my brain, and I thought you're doing it for the whole show.
Oh.
Not for this season 6.
Well, for the whole show, 1 star does seem pretty apt, maybe.
Yes.
But I have not done I haven't done the formulating or whatever.
Right. But with season 6,
we do have
I
a
get
formula.
it.
If you watch the introduction, we do have a formula for this. That's also mixed with emotion to get the perfect score.
Right.
But yeah.
No, but I just want to say, now I'm totally 100% on board with 1 star for this season.
Yeah. And I would love...
It's so good.
Yeah. And with House of the Dragon on the way, I would love to give some stars to Game of Thrones. The problem is, you know, it's just... I don't know. It's going to be hard to do that. Because there's 8 seasons. But... yeah. But look out for House of the Dragon. If my math is correct and it is coming out next Monday, we will be coming out with an episode on that. It will probably be me and Calvin talking about it, because me and Calvin love it.
That's gonna be fun.
Stacey loves it as well, but that's something we're both extremely excited about.
Yeah.
And my love for Game of Thrones is probably a lot higher than yours.
Yes, although I did love it.
Yeah, you love it. But I have an infatuation with it. She does not. Oh, do you? I don't know.
No, I do, but I think it's the way you talk about it with a little more passion than I do.
Well, I talk about all these things with more passion than you do.
Yeah. But I can get very passionate about it.
Yeah.
But you just seem to have more to say than I do.
Yep.
This is the thing.
And I know this is about Better Call Saul. I'm sorry we're talking about Game of Thrones, but Breaking Bad is, just to close it out, as this will be the last time we talk about the Breaking Bad universe in live, you know, just stop coming off an episode for the last time. So I just want to give my highest praise to Vince Gilligan. You are one of the most amazing TV directors out there. Your work on Breaking Bad has inspired me. I was never a critical person as much. I mean, I was critical on movies and shows to a certain extent, but after watching Breaking Bad, now everything comes to me in a different light because of Breaking Bad. And now I'm extremely critical, but not critical to a point where I don't enjoy things. I love watching things. I enjoy things, but I can see them for what they are, because Breaking Bad has really given me that baseline for a creative piece of work that has every aspect needed to make something great. And Better Call Saul continued that legacy in a good way, a less exciting way, but just a very, very good way.
So good.
And yeah, and it's sad to see the universe come to a close, but what they've done, they put it out. They put it all out on the line. They never gave us anything crappy, and we can at least hang our hats to that, knowing that nothing is ruined. They didn't ruin anything.
Oh.
Yeah, which is very impressive for 11 seasons and one movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 solid shows, and a great movie. None of them, I feel like watching it like, oh, they should not have done this at all.
Yep.
So good.
Oh, that's what I want to say. Because I was talking about Game of Thrones, that's what I want to say. The reason why I'm so infatuated with Game of Thrones is, just going off my tangent of how good Breaking Bad is, the fact that Game of Thrones came so close to Breaking Bad to me, like, I think Game of Thrones is a little bit worse than Breaking Bad. Just because I don't think Game of Thrones is as pure as Breaking Bad. I feel like there's a little bit more flaws in it. But if you check out those flaws out, I'm just so impressed that another show was able to reach the same world as Breaking Bad did for me. Game of Thrones blew my mind. And that's what I want to say. As we go into House of Dragon next week, yeah, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
2 top-tier shows, and we get them back-to-back. And I get to talk about them every week, so it's a good time to be alive.
Yeah, I hope they do well. I'm so excited. It's a good time to be alive.
Well, thanks for watching. If you liked it, and if you liked our scores, please like and subscribe and give us your score down below. Thank you so much, and bless you.